keynote speaker needs no introduction, but I will take just a minute to share with you some of her many achievements. She is a psychology expert, a renowned life coach, ranked #1 author in Success Magazine's Top 20. She is the president of the NAACP branch in San Pedro, founder of the Dr. Bryant Institute, and author of the award-winning reader's favorite and 5-star book, Mental Detox. 5-star, guys. She is a motivational speaker, a community activist, and a brand ambassador. And she takes and finds the time to be a life coach on MTV's television show as a psychologist. The television show is called Teen Mom. I am blessed and honored, truly honored, to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Interesting. I walked with my phone up here, right? And I went to hug my sister. And I looked, and I have notes on my speaking points. And then I looked, all of a sudden it was blank. And then I pressed notes, and I go, oh no, God. Let me tell you, you're not going to send me up here. You're not going to think that highly of me to think I'm going to do this without the speaking notes that I wrote. You guys are going to have a blank 10 minutes, but it's okay now. We got the notes. Before I get started, I want to do some house cleaning. I do want to thank everyone in this room for attending this brunch. I want to thank Kurt. Captain Kurt. For your friendship, for always thinking and considering me, not just to show up and be a part of LAPD magic, but you text me sometimes and check on me. That's a friend. Thank you. I want to acknowledge our NAACP regional, Daryl, who's present today. Amen. I want to quickly, not because you don't deserve the whole 10 minutes, I don't have that much time, Daryl, but I want to thank you for your leadership. Since you came in as regional over our NAACP jurisdiction and branches, we have, for the first time in my 9 years as president, operated as an NAACP family in the city of Los Angeles. And without that unity, we cannot make momentum and we cannot be a force. So thank you for that. And last, I want to thank Chief Moore. Don't shake your head no. I'm going to thank you for your partnership and for your friendship. I want to thank you for having the capacity and the leadership skills to see outside of yourself. Our friendship started off with me doing a lot of pushing, a lot of stomping, and a lot of punching in our meetings. And you facilitated me. You heard me. You didn't always understand what I was screaming when I was standing on top of the table, but you gave me the space to do so. And after kicking and pushing, you actually selected and chose me based on probably some of the things you didn't understand. So I want to thank you for trusting me to be in the capacities that you have put me in. And I feel like I have made you proud in those capacities. So thank you for your partnership and thank you for your friendship. Okay? Now we can get the party started. Today's theme, quoted by the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is the peace. The true peace is not merely the absence of tension. It is the presence of justice. Okay? I'm going to speak from this quote, but I'm going to add a little Dr. Cheyenne Bryant spin to it. That's all right with you. I'm going to take everybody back to February 12th, 1909 in New York City, when the biggest the baddest, and the largest civil rights organization was founded. That organization is NAACP. Dr. King was, I should say still is, a proud lifetime member and activist of that organization. NAACP was founded on the same basis of Dr. King's fight: equality, equity, and justice. 3 different necessities tied to the same result. I want to take a minute to explain, for those who may know or may not know, the difference. We all walk around, all of us of every color, creed, and we talk about equality. Equality is giving everybody the exact same portion, only furthering the equity deficit. Why do I say that? Because if I'm in a race with this good-looking man right here, and he is 1 lap ahead of me, and you give us both the exact same lead, that puts him in a further lead, and it puts me in a further deficit. Equality doesn't work when you distribute the same amount without equity. What is equity? Equity is figuring out what each individual needs pertaining to their need, so that you can level the playing field, and that when this man is a lap ahead, you give me a lap and you have him wait. So that by the time I get my equity of a lap, there's equality, and I have a fair, which is justice, chance to beat him, or at least compete with him. Yeah. You can clap. We're not in church. So, equality doesn't take place without the understanding of what a community needs, a race of people needs, depending on individuals, their family, their neighborhoods, and their communities. NAACP was founded by Black and white activists. Why am I putting emphasis on the white activist part? Because in the face of society, the media, and certain narratives, it's made out to be a black and white fight, a black and white disconnect, and a black and white problem that continues to get unresolved. Now, understand, I'm definitely not condoning, dissipating, demising, or negating white supremacy, white privilege, discrimination, a lack of diversity and inclusion, or racism. What I'm saying is that this fight was not done alone from the founding days, and it cannot be done moving forward alone. So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that it takes what? It takes allies. It takes friendships. It takes partnerships. It takes people who may not understand or relate to the core nucleus of our fight, of our issues, or of our needs, but have a willingness in the heart to listen, to seek understanding, and to get in the trenches, the front row with us, so we can even out the playing field, even, and I'm gonna go there, white people, if that means giving us a seat at the table or taking a back seat sometimes. To make sure that we gain a seat at the table, that our voices are heard, we're respected, and our needs are implemented and provided. And I do want to take this moment just to say, my NAACP branch, I took the lead on putting together a big community unity march a few years back as a result of George Floyd's murder, not death, murder. And I put that together, Harbor Division LAPD, they supported the heck out of us. We didn't have to ask for anything. They provided water, they provided flowers, they provided empathy. They were just amazing. I didn't personally invite Chief Moore. We didn't have a relationship then. I didn't dislike him, I just didn't know him. When we got in that line to march, I was on the front line, and I had my activists and my NAACP family, the community at the front, holding up the NAACP banner. As we started to march, we started to chant, say his name, George Floyd, right? Say his name. And I looked to my left, Chief Moore. front line in the trenches with me. I didn't invite him. I shouldn't have to invite him. I shouldn't have had to. That is the partnership, that is the community that I'm referring to when I say every person in this room, every person in the community that you serve are leaders. You don't need a title and you don't need a position. You just need to know you are accountable and you have a responsibility. And that day, you showed up in your responsibility, Chief Moore, and you showed up in your accountability for us. And you chanted every word through that march. I had to put that out for thank you. Now, this fight for Black people looks and feels very different than that of a white person. For the Black community, it often looks and feels like heartache, heartbreak, hopelessness, struggle, unfairness, disrespect, unseen, unacknowledged, disregard, silence, and dehumanized. Fortunately and proudly, I'm a Black woman. So I don't know what it feels like for a white person in a space and time like that. However, I do know what it needs to look like. It needs to look like trust. Chief Moore mentioned that earlier. Communication, friendship, respect, love, partnership, compassion, and a willingness to go outside of yourself to understand what that looks like. After all, friendship, love, and respect are all about what? Compromise and sacrifice. And I am very grateful to say that when I skim this room of all of you beautiful faces, that I'm able to see folks who are my allies, who are my partners, and who have become my friends. Some of y'all are white, some of y'all are Black, and some of y'all are brown. Okay? These relationships collectively have been the force behind the change and impact that we all had in the space of civil rights and human rights. And if we can continue to lock hands and not horns, we can all be profitable at this fight, resulting in true equity, equality, dissipating the equity deficit, and enabling justice to hold its true definition, which is fairness. And in this moment, I'm going to ask that everyone who can stand, please stand up. And I want you to lock hands with the closest person to you, and I want nobody unlocked. Folks in the back, lock up. Everybody locked? Is anybody left unlocked? Okay. In closing, I'm going to say this. It's more profitable to lock hands than horns. And I believe that if we all can keep our commitment to locking hands with one another, then we can win the Dr. King fight of equality, equity, and justice for all. Thank you.